another edition of The Naked Truth. I'm Ramon Roan.
My name is John Singletary.
And we are with the Concerned Citizens Alliance of North Charleston. We'll have different branches soon to come. Soon to come. Our motto is, local politics makes a difference. Today's topic, first before we start, we appreciate for all you that are new subscribers to this channel, and we appreciate your comments and your likes and even your shares. If you're Facebook friends of ours, please you can Facebook friend me or John on Facebook, of course. Today's title, what we're going to be talking about today is Fox Guarding the Hen House. Don't believe the hype. This regards to the recent press conference I believe they had with the Justice Department and cops, and about the review of the police department here in North Charleston. And unlike what happened in Baltimore and unlike what happened in Ferguson, this is a different type of investigation. This is a review. I was telling you, it's a review.
Not really an investigation.
Right. So but I think that many of our viewers, they don't know, is the fact that they're thinking that it's the same as what happened in Ferguson as far as investigation.
Absolutely. I was talking to some people on the street the other day, and once I explained to them, the difference between the two programs, they came to the realization that we're being duped.
Right.
In Ferguson and Baltimore, they did a pattern and practice investigation. It takes a look at going in and investigating to see if wrongdoing occurred. That's totally different than the COPS program. We had a more egregious incident that happened here with the shooting of Walter Scott in the back. We had several other shootings, but the COPS program comes in, and there's nothing wrong. We want a good relationship with the police department, absolutely. But in this instance, it's the tail wagging the dog. What you have is a situation where we don't, in the COPS program, we're not concerned or looking back at what happened to see if wrongdoing occurred, if we're going to do an investigation. We're going to let you know that we're going to put you under the microscope, and from here forward for 2 years, we want you to be on your best behavior, and that's what we're going to look at, and we're going to even bring some money down so that we can help further the relationship. That's a good thing. But the timing of it is very bad, and the placement of it is very bad. It's fine to do that after you have investigated, found out that there's been wrongdoing, given a chance like they did in Ferguson in order to correct that, and if you don't, then you bring the COPS program to supplement what the investigation says needs to occur. But when you forget everything that happened in terms of the civil rights violation, and you skip over to, at the very end, only taking care of the rehabilitation, it's like the 73% of people back on Leeds Avenue. If you would have told them, listen, yeah, we understand you committed a crime, but we're not going to look at that. What we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to jump straight to rehabilitation without dealing with the crime you committed. We're going to put money into rehabilitating you. And so what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Why would we allow our citizens to not take advantage of the same thing that the city is? Right. The other incident is that council has the authority to investigate the departments within the city, not the mayor. Here you allow the person who manages the department to also go out and determine the audit policy and practices that's being used. That's not a good checks and balance. That's why the state law says that it is the council that is supposed to ensure the investigations of the department, not the mayor. Otherwise, what you have is you have a situation where you allowing the person who commits the act to also cover themselves by auditing themselves.
Well, the difference in the Freddie Gay case and the Michael Brown case was that there was actually a federal civil rights probe into the patterns and practice.
Pattern and practice investigation, which is what we requested here.
Right, but they would not do it here, and there's no way, there's a reason. Of course, we know that the mayor, Keith Summy, 21 years in office, we know why he does not want a pattern and practice investigation, because it's going to show the wrongdoing that's been going on, just like what was going on in Ferguson, as well as in Baltimore. And so why we named this video the Fox Garden, the Hen House, is because it's appropriate. And don't believe the hype. What happened, was it Wednesday of this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Wednesday of this week. Don't believe that, because Mayor Summy does not want things to change.
We're not getting an investigation.
No, we're not getting an investigation.
What we're getting is, we're getting the cops program to come to hold their hand in order to shelter them from their wrongdoing being brought out in the public.
Right.
No problem with the cops program. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing to have good community relationships. But after an incident such as we had in North Charleston, it is imperative that a pattern and practice investigation be done in order to take a look at what has happened in the past that has led up to that. How can you correct the past if you never deal with it?
Well, I think that, because I'm like wondering why is this going on, but the Slager case, their defense attorney, I believe is Andy Savage, is shedding a light on some things that's been going on in the city of North Charleston, such as the quota stops. And so the mayor's trying, I believe the mayor is trying to get ahead of it by requesting this review.
Of course. And so any organization who makes a comment on the COPS program prior to understanding not only what the COPS program is all about versus what the Department of Justice pattern and practice is all about, is making a premature decision that the issue is going to be taken care of through the COPS program without a full investigation about pattern and practice.
Yeah. Well, you're not, I mean, one of the things that when we ran for office is that we looked at the amount of minority cops that are on the force, and those that are in positions of authority. And the pattern of practice is going to show all of that.
Sure. This is why it's so important to get out and vote. It's extremely important for us to realize that the vote makes a difference, a huge difference, as to whether or not you can receive justice within your municipality. Because after all, the mayor influences who is actually on the bench. He influences who's on the bench, as well as he influences whether or not you're going to get a fair shake at due process, equal protection of the law, the type of justice that's administered in your community.
I think that, and you're right on the bench, but the police chief works for the mayor.
Sure he does. He's hired directly by the mayor with no input from anyone else. And that's fine, because that's what the law says.
Right.
That's what the bylaws say, that he does not have to get approval from council or anything else.
Right.
He, as the managing administrator for the city, has the right, and we don't want to change that,
Right.
has the right to appoint someone in that position irregardless of what anybody else says.
And as we get ready to wrap up, one of the things that you mentioned about city council could request the pattern and practice.
Absolutely, and should in this case.
But however, they don't have enough votes. We know there are a few on there that would probably vote yes.
Yeah. Well, it needs to come up for a vote, because even though the COPS program comes in because the mayor has requested, city council still has today, tomorrow, the option of saying, we will put to a vote as to whether or not we will ask the Department of Justice to come in and do a pattern and practice investigation, irrespective of what is going on with cops. And that's something that, of course, the mayor has, or should not be voting on, because he, again, is the managing agent for the city, for that department.
Right.
And if they should deem that that should be done, then that's what's done.
Yeah.
That's the checks and balance for
For the city.
for the city.
But that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen, you know. We have to put, the only way that happens, we gotta remove Mayor Summy out of the office.
Yeah.
You gotta get him out of office. And also some of those city councilmen. Well, you got anything else, John?
That's it on the cops program.
Yeah, that's not on part. Well, we appreciate again. Thank you for watching our videos, and thank you for sharing. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe, we will continue to bring you relevant topics for this community and yours. This has been another edition of